Hello everyone, and welcome to my Yoga for Menstrual Healing class. This practice is great for any time during your period. It's very gentle, but it's also stimulating with twists to help us just release and let go of anything that needs to pass in our bodies, our mind, or spirit. So I always like to start off a session, especially a sacred practice like this with the menstrual cycle in our sacred womb space. I love to start by just burning a little bit of smoke. So today I'm using the herb mugwort. And mugwort is connected to crone wisdom, or the third eye chakra wisdom. So it's a really great herb to smoke whenever you're on your menstrual cycle, because it connects you to that divine feminine energy and to the psychic wisdom that lies within our womb space. And we can activate this wisdom when we're menstruating. So through this practice today, we're really just going to relax the body and the mind and just create a nice open vessel for energy to just pour through as we release and let go through our menstrual cycle. I'm going to be using lots of props today. Props are optional, of course. They're just here to make our practice more comfortable today. So I'll have 2 blocks. These are for resting our hips while we're doing those gentle hip stretches. Also a blanket. So I actually practice on a blanket whenever I'm menstruating, especially because I just want a really soft, cushiony floor beneath me. So I went ahead and laid a blanket down on my mat, and I'll also have a second blanket because we're going to be kind of using space outside of our mat, and we're going to want some cushion supporting our knees. So have an extra blanket with you and you can use any blanket, just a blanket around the house, and also a bolster or a pillow. A pillow is also fine. You can just get a pillow off of your bed or off the couch. Okay, so we'll begin seated in our Sukhasana. And if you'd like to slide some blocks under your knees, this takes a little bit of tension off the hip flexors, so you can kind of just sit without having to use a lot of strength. So close your eyes and sit up tall. Let your hands just rest on your knees. Palms can face open for receiving or down for grounding. Just kind of tap into what you need today. And begin to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Take a few deep breaths here. Big open mouth exhales, just letting go. Let this be a clearing. What needs to be released? And now activate your Ujjayi breath in and out through your nose. The lips are sealed, and we feel that prana churning within us as our body becomes warm. As you exhale, begin to send this prana and this energy down the spine, down through your belly and your digestive organs, down into your reproductive organs, into your uterus, into your sacred womb space. And just allow this prana to flow through your womb space, down through the root chakra, into the earth, into the soil. Feel energy just flow downward with your exhale breath. What are we holding on to in our sacred womb space? Let that go here as you breathe. sending this downward apana energy. Send it down through the womb space to the earth. Just give it back, give it back. Let it all go. On your next inhale breath, reach your hands up and over your head so the palms touch. Exhale, draw your hands to your heart center for your Anjali Mudra. Let's sing the sound of Om here to cleanse the body and the chakras, to help us feel connected to everything around us and everything within us. Inhale. On an inhale breath, reach your hands up and over your head so the palms touch, and then twist to your left. Reach across for the knee. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale to deepen your twist. Look over your left shoulder and just breathe here. Twisting and releasing, letting go of anything that may be stuck, anything that's kind of blocking us off from this natural flow of life. Take another deep breath here into the belly. Inhale, reach your arms back up and overhead. Exhale, twist to your right. Look over the shoulder. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, deepening your twist. Think of a towel full of water, and as we wring it out and twist it, we feel lighter. Just let it all go here. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale, reach your hands back up and over your head, and then bring the hands back to heart center. We'll find cobbler's pose, feet together, knees wide. Again, you can use blocks here underneath your knees to support your hips. Lengthen your spine and take a few breaths here with the eyes closed. Again, breathing that apana vayu, the apana energy, just let it flow down through the sacred womb space. Feel your hips gently open here. You have the option to stay here, or you can begin to pull the heart forward, bringing your hands to the ground, eventually relaxing your head. And just surrender here in your forward fold. Surrender to your flow. Slow, conscious breathing in and out through your nose. With each exhale, the body softens. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here, going a bit deeper into your hips. And walk the hands back up through center. Now we'll send the legs wide. Straighten the legs out. Inhale to lengthen your spine, rising up. Now again, you can stay here, just allowing the hips to slowly open as you flow your energy and your breath down through the womb space. You're also welcome to start walking your hands forward into a forward fold. Wherever you are, just let your hands rest on the earth or on your legs. And breathe into this sacred space, allowing your hips and your pelvis to just be open and free. Our sacred womb space is where we access our creativity and pleasure. So we want to clear away any burdens, any pain, letting all of that go here so that we can access this creative flow, this potential that lies within our womb space. Go a bit deeper. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Feel the freedom of your breath. And then slowly begin to walk your hands back in. Grab the knees, pull them in towards you, and cross your ankles. We're going to roll onto into tabletop for our cat-cow. So roll onto your hands and knees, spread the fingers wide. On your inhale breath, lower your belly, gaze up, breathe into the spine here. On your next exhale breath, round the spine, chin to chest. And then begin to breathe with the natural rhythms of your body, finding your cat-cow flow. You can add any movement that feels organic. You can roll out the hips and the shoulders. What do you feel as you breathe here? As you move intuitively? Let's take 3 more breaths. Just flowing here. Finding that natural rhythm of breath within. And now we'll sit back into a child's pose. Bring the big toes to touch, sit your hips back. You're welcome to use your pillow or your bolster here. This makes the child's pose a little more restorative. Go ahead and walk the hands forward, resting onto your bolster, onto the mat. We're nurturing our flow in our bodies. Just breathe here in this beautiful and sweet child's pose. This is a very humbling posture as we hold ourselves close to the earth, resting in this sacred womb space. Just allowing whatever needs to pass, the supportive space to do so. With each exhale, your body softens. Breathe into your hips as we gently massage the ovaries. We apply gentle pressure to our uterus. Breathe into the pelvic space, relieving any pain, any discomfort. Let's take 3 more breaths here. You'll slowly begin to press yourself back up. Move your bolster or your pillow off to the side. You're going to find your other blanket. And we want the blanket to be wide enough to where it's hanging off of one side of our mat. Or maybe it lays all the way across to where it's hanging off about a foot or two on either side of your mat. But lay it out so that there's some cushion on the right side of your mat. So on the right side. And if you're practicing on the carpet, then this will be totally fine. We're going to take a half prone frog. So you're going to take your right leg out to the side. See, I'll switch so you can see. So you're going to take your right leg out to the side 90 degrees. Your toes are turned out and your knee is in line with your hip. All right. So take a few breaths here as you settle in. We're going to go a bit deeper as you rest down onto your belly. You can send your arms out into a 90-degree shape on either side. And just rest your head, letting your head be turned in the same direction as your knee. And take a few breaths here as we gently rest, allowing the pelvis to neutralize. Option to turn your head into the opposite direction of your bent knee for a deeper rotation in the spine. Just breathe into this hip as we surrender into the earth, feeling grounded here. Feel the gentle pressure on your uterus as you feel held. Continue to breathe. And take another deep breath here. And slowly begin to straighten that bent knee, that leg out and behind you. And we'll bend the other knee. So if you need to adjust your blanket, do that. Or just wiggle the opposite knee out to your side so that it's at a 90-degree angle. And again, let the arms rest. Lay your head in the same direction as your knee. Take a few breaths here. Let the pelvis neutralize. And take a few deep breaths. You can turn your head in the opposite direction now. Just feeling the pelvis rest here on the earth. How can you support yourself at this time? In your yoga practice, but also off of the mat in your daily life. What can we do to provide more support to our menstrual cycle? Where can we create more space for stillness and self-care? Let's take 2 more deep breaths here.
Then slowly begin to straighten that leg back out. We'll press ourselves up into tabletop. Now we're going to come to a seat. You're going to have your legs just swooped out to the side. Okay? And then find your pillow or your bolster and set that pillow or that bolster out in front of you so that it's next to your hip, nice and long. And let the legs fan out so both of your feet are turned out to the side, creating as much space as you'd like here to rest on your hips. Take a nice deep breath here, feeling the pelvis neutralize. And then turn towards your bolster, framing the bolster with both hands. Begin to walk the hands out, resting into a restorative twist. Relax onto your bolster and breathe here, letting your elbows soften. We're detoxifying in our twists, letting go. Releasing any toxic energy in the body. Releasing any toxins from our foods, from our environment. Releasing any toxic relationships or self-limiting beliefs. Releasing any perceptions. Releasing the illusion of separateness and our suffering. And as we breathe here, we just feel connected to that beautiful flow of divine energy within us. Just take a few breaths here. And slowly begin to press yourself up. We're going to turn in the other direction, so just look over your shoulder that's away from your bolster, and just kind of keep looking over that shoulder until you can turn your knees in the opposite direction. I'm going to spin around here so that I can see the screen. Okay, so legs are in the opposite direction this time. Again, feet are turned away. We have lots of space here for our hips, and just sit up tall for a few breaths, just feeling the pelvis neutralize. And begin to turn your chest towards your pillow or your bolster. Walk those hands out, resting again into a restorative twist. Breathe along the spine. Breathe into your hips. Just allowing whatever needs to pass, the supportive space to do so. With each exhale, your body softens. And as you become quiet and still, you become more aware of the natural rhythms within your body. Your breath as it rises and falls. Your heart as it beats. Feel your breath as it flows down through the legs. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then slowly begin to press yourself back up. We're going to transition onto our back. So you'll want that bolster or that pillow nearby. You'll also want both of your blocks where you can reach them while you're laying on your back. So go ahead and think about that. And we're going to lay back with the knees bent, feet on the ground, preparing for our supportive bridge pose. So we're going to lift our hips. You can slide your pillow or your bolster underneath your hips. Okay, and you can also use a block if that's what you have today. Let the palms roll open. Feet are nice and soft on the ground. Kind of shimmy the shoulders together to feel the chest expand. And take a nice deep cleansing breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, letting go of any tension. This is a really great posture for relieving back pain. We're just taking all that pressure off of our low back and out of our hip complex. Just allowing this space to rest without any effort. Take deep breaths in and out of your nose here. Breathe into your womb space, into your hips. And now lift your hips. Let's slide the bolster out from underneath us, bringing the hips back down to the floor. We'll take Supta Baddha Konasana, so reach for your blocks, feet together, knees wide. Let your knees be supported on your blocks, or you can keep that bolster or that pillow underneath your knees in this posture, just whatever feels good to you to feel supported. You can also rest that bolster under your back if that feels good. We're going to bring our hands to our womb space, resting them on our hips, right between the hip bones. And just take a few breaths here, honoring this sacred womb space. Honoring the goddess energy that resides within you. Breathe into your womb space, offering healing here. Imagine that each inhale breath fills your womb space with light. We fill ourselves with this beautiful healing light. Take a few more deep breaths here. Feel the creative flow of life death, and rebirth that flows through our bodies. And then bring your hands to your hips, kind of wrapping your thumb and your index finger around the hip complex. So your thumbs are wrapping around to the back of your hips. And press down as you kind of like you're pressing your legs away from your shoulders. Breathe into the low back. You may feel a little bit of release here. Press the hips away from your shoulders. And breathe here. And let go. Bring the knees together. Pull your right knee into your chest. Send the left leg long onto the ground. Hug that knee into your chest. This posture is great for relieving cramping. It also promotes healthy digestion so that we can just release and let go and let prana just flow down through our digestive organs. Draw that knee across your body for supine twist. Your right arm falls out to your side. Breathe along the spine here. Feel the low back release. Take 3 deep breaths. And release back to center. Let's switch legs. Pull the left knee in. Let the right leg go long. Hug that knee into your chest. Feel it wrap around the rib cage. As you breathe, your hips soften. Take another deep breath here. And with your right hand, guide that knee across your body for supine twist. Your gaze is over towards your hand. Breathe into your hips, into your spine. A final chance to just let go here and release. And gently roll back to center. Preparing for your Shavasana. Lift the chest, kind of shimmy the shoulders together so that your palms really can roll open by your sides. Bring your feet as wide as you'd like, really taking up space, as much space as you'd like. And breathe into your heart space here as a reminder to care for yourself, to practice self-care and self-love for our menstrual cycle, and just for ourselves at all times. Take a few deep breaths here. Feel the body soften and relax as we give ourselves the rest that we need. Our body is doing good work during our menstrual cycle. Feel the body soften. And imagine that your body is growing roots down into the soil. You feel grounded and rooted into the earth as you rest in this sacred space, feeling held, feeling cared for. Rest here as you feel your body draining, pouring out, letting go of any toxicity, anything that's stuck or heavy. Just let that pass, let it go, let it die. Rest here in this stillness, in this death. Now begin to deepen your breath. And these roots that you've grown down into the earth, you begin to draw nutrients up from the ground, from Mother Gaia. Draw this nourishment up into your body, into your sacred womb space. Feeling the flow of creativity, feeling your blood move through you. Feel the waters of your soul, of your emotional self, churn within you, within your womb space. As we access this creative energy within. What do we wish to invite into our lives? As you deepen your breath, invite movements into your fingers and your toes. Reach your hands over your head, take a nice stretch, and then roll onto the left side of your body, rolling into your fetal pose. You roll into this posture of rebirth, honoring the lunar cycles that reside within us and within our natural world, reminding us of every breath, of every setting sun. There's a process of letting go of death, and that this cycle continues with every inhale, with every rising sun, with every full moon. There is rebirth. Begin to press yourself up, returning to where we began. Reach your hands up and over your head, drawing all of the energy of life down into your heart space, down into the womb space. Bring your hands into your womb mudra, an upside down triangle. Fingers and thumbs pressed together. Breathe into your womb space here. Let's sing the sacred sound of Om. Inhale. Om. With each breath, harness the power of your sacred womb space, the honor your divine feminine energy that flows within you. May you live within the natural cycles and rhythms of this world, of yourself. The intuitive, beautiful energy and power within me bows to all of the intuitive, beautiful, and powerful energy within you. Bring your hands to your heart space. It is an honor to share this sacred space with you, sister. May you honor this divine power within you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you all so much. I hope you enjoyed this practice. Take care of yourself during your menstrual cycle. Drink plenty of water. Care for your body. Care for your emotions. Just take time to rest and be with yourself. Namaste.